What's good, everyone? This is your boy DJ's Raw and Cut Truth. Give you that raw content that you deservedly need. Let's talk about our boy, Brandon Ingram, aka BI. So, I propose an idea for the Pelicans to expand their roster and elevate the talent on its team. My proposal was that Brandon Ingram should play the two guard position. By Brandon Ingram playing the two guard position, he is able to focus on his offensive repertoire. Yes, he will go against talented two guards, but Brandon Ingram is so tall and versatile, it's a lot easier for him to guard two guards than to have him guard the LeBrons and all the talented small forwards we have on this league. Last year, Brandon Ingram exerted so much energy due to him not having the adequate weight to guard the Paul Georges, Kawhis, LeBrons, all those players. So by him being a two guard, his offensive input will increase. His wingspan and quickness will help defend players without being so tired on both ends of the floor. It's a win-win. Now, the question is, are the Pelicans going to do the right thing using common sense in putting Brandon Ingram at the two? I've been saying it for years. Brandon Ingram is a two guard. Or they're going to fall in love with Jrue Holiday and then keep the same old roster and not make any moves. Before I go on, let me say this. Jrue Holiday is a great guy. I've been saying it over and over again. Jrue Holiday is a great humanitarian. He gives back. He speaks up. No complaints. I'm talking about basketball. See, this is what we fail to realize. The NBA is a business. And I don't care if it's one of my favorite players in the NBA. If they're traded, it is what it is. When the Lakers traded Lonzo for AD, it is what it is. That's AD. Nobody in their mind will say no to that trade. So it's never personal. Before I start with the trade scenarios, I want to say shout out to Gibson for bringing this up on Twitter. He's very informative. He knows what he's talking about in basketball, and truly appreciate it. Got to bring him on the show next time. So this is the trade scenario if you trade Jrue Holiday. The Brooklyn Nets will get Jrue Holiday, and this is a multiple team trade, by the way. The Pacers will get Karis LeVert. The Rockets will get Jared Allen in the second round pick. And then the Pelicans will get Miles Turner and Robert Covington. And that's just one scenario. So you can mix and match. Miles Turner in this offense is a dream come true. And for Lonzo, playing with a big man that pick and pops, very versatile, that doesn't stagnate the offense, that is literally a point guard's dream. And then you add Robert Covington, who can play the three, can play the four, he can play a lot of positions, can shoot the three. I think he shoots like 41% from three. Automatic. So not only you add versatile defense, but you add players, if you're the Pelicans, who can defend in space. This is a win-win. And if the Pelicans did this move, they're set. They'll be a playoff seed. They'll be the 8th seed at least, because the West is tough. The West is so tough that someone winning the 8th seed is like winning the 4th seed in the East, literally, for next year. So many teams. So if you have common sense and you're looking at this trade scenario, even if you're a fan of Jrue Holiday, you must admit this trade scenario is perfect for both teams. Drew Holiday will play for a contender in the Nets. And that's a great team. KD, Kyrie, Drew Holiday that can defend with the best of them. And they have all that depth. Jared Allen to the Rockets is good for them. They're exiting out the small ball era, and they're going to go a traditional route. That's what I've been hearing. And then the Pacers getting Karis LeVert is great for their franchise. You don't know what they're going to do with Oladipo. So that'll be a good insurance policy for them. So I was looking through Twitter, what they thought about these trade scenarios and Stan Van Gundy. And I can tell already Stan Van Gundy is probably going to be that coach. If he's making poor coaching decisions, they're going to defend him because he's a quote-unquote great guy and he speaks up for social injustice. We get all that. Unfortunately, in the business of sports, you got to win. Muhammad Ali, God rest his soul, would always talk about you gotta back it up in the ring before you could talk. He used to always say that. That's why Muhammad Ali can talk and be the guy he was, because he won. You gotta win. When you're losing, you're speaking up. No one's gonna listen to you. They always want to listen to a winner because they see a winner as a leader. That's human nature. But as for this tweet, when Angie Thomas says Skip saying this means he's the perfect choice. They were talking about Van Gundy. And then Top 5 Pelican Podcast. Shout out to the brother. I'm cool with him. And he says something about Skip and Kendrick Perkins, of course. And then he said this. So do Lonzo stands. I'm liking the signing now. So pretty much he's saying, since the quote-unquote Lonzo fans/stands do not like the Stan Van Gundy hire because they feel that it's going to make him stagnant, and they heard a podcast of Stan Van Gundy, and this is out there, that Lonzo needs to be in the corner, open for in the corner for a 3-point spot. That's why they were kind of iffy about it. See, I'm in a wait and see approach. I'm not going to judge this hire until I see anything that's sporadic or not in line of winning. But I'm going to show you why Lonzo Ball fans and stands, whatever you call them, do not like this hire. It's for a good reason. My boy 313JMO, go subscribe to his channel if you're a Detroit sports fan. He's a Lions fan, Detroit Tigers fan, Detroit Pistons fan. So he's a hardcore Detroit sports fan. He's a real one. And we definitely got to link up soon. But this is what he said. He has seen the Pistons play through the years, the good and the bad. So I take his word with a lot of truth. So this is what he said, quote, I'm a Pistons fan, and Stan Van Gundy is a terrible coach. I would rather have Gentry. See, that's when you know it's bad. Now, I'm going to give Stan Van Gundy a chance. But when someone says that they rather have the coach that was fired than Stan Van Gundy, that's alarming. But I'm going to continue. Stan Van Gundy destroys young players and point guards. Dinwiddie left. Stanley Johnson is a bust. And that was a horrible pick by Stan Van Gundy, and that's the reason why he's not a GM. And he continues by saying Drummond never developed. Only reason Pels fans think it's a good move is because they don't know about his Pistons tenure. That is true. All the Pelican fanboys and Pelican media, talking heads, they only bring up Orlando. They barely bring up the 4 years Stan Van Gundy was coaching the Detroit Pistons. A Detroit Pistons team that should have been better. And now you have Dwayne Casey, who's trying to fix up the bull crap that the regime of Stan Van Gundy had. And the brother, Dwayne Casey, is doing a good job so far. I'm expecting the Detroit Pistons to have a good draft, a great draft, to rectify all the wrongs. So I'm going to leave my last message by saying this. This will be the message of the day for the Pelicans going forward. Do the right thing. Have B.I. as the shooting guard. Trade Drew Holiday because he's your best trade asset to get versatile wings and scorers and a versatile big, because you need that in the West. So hopefully the Pelicans will be smart and stop thinking of emotion and think with logic. Right now, the organization thinks of emotion, and they're too attached to Drew Holiday, and they treat Drew Holiday like he won a championship. Now, he's a great man, and he's a great defender, and he's put in his work for 11 years. But unless the Pelicans are a contender, which they are not, things got to change. That's just the reality of basketball. And before you say, what about if Lonzo's traded? If Lonzo's traded, that's the business. Shoot, Jason Kidd was traded multiple times before he found a home. It happens. It's the NBA. But I talked to multiple people about the potential of Brandon Ingram playing the two-guard position and Drew Holiday being traded possibly to the Nets to get a lot of talented players. You know, the Nets got some talented players on that roster. And about 85% people that DM me said that's a great idea. The only people who dislike that idea are diehard Drew Holiday fans who believes he's like some type of superstar, which he is not. He's a great player, but he's not a star. And it's just the business of the game of basketball. Not trying to be emotional, but I'm being real. So we'll see what happens. Do I think that the Pelicans are going to make that trade? Probably not, because Stan is probably going to love Drew Holiday and is not going to make a decision to improve the team for the long term. So we'll see. Peace.